Hi friends, I am going to be giving you a little bit of a lesson plan that I created based on a book that is in my house that my children love. It's Sleepy the Goodnight Buddy. It is one of my favorite stories. I checked it out at the library one day, loved it so much, bought it that night on Amazon, and it's a household favorite. I wanted to use this book because it's a great read aloud, but then I was trying to think about what can I teach with this text, and one thing that I really like about it are the text bubbles, and it's very similar to a Mo Willems style of Elephant and Piggy, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to demonstrate reading with expression and also showing students how to do that in their own reading, which I then decided would use specifically for a first grade level, and the Common Core skill that we would be addressing is in first grade Reading Foundations 1.3 and 1.4. Specifically in 1.4 or 3, we're working on phonics and word recognition, and that shows that we understand the text and therefore can read with expression. RF 1.4, Part B is read grade level text orally with accuracy, appropriate text, and expression on successive readings. And I'm just reading Common Core right off my phone. Just a little tip. If you guys have the app, it's fantastic for looking up the Common Core skills. So to go into the actual lesson, the focus of my lesson would be to build the skill of fluency and demonstrate that understanding of the text with expressive reading, and this is to support comprehension as well as fluency. The learning objective would be students will demonstrate their ability to identify characters' emotions by reading with the expression, and I will do that with the material of my book. I will also have, or would have, I'm not actually doing this, but I would have probably popsicle sticks where I have expressions on the sticks, and then another set of popsicle sticks with sentence prompts so that we could practice using different expressions for a sentence to show how expression changes what somebody is saying. The prior knowledge I assumed for an RF1 would be they understand grammatical endings, so whether it is a period or a question mark or an exclamation point changes how we read a statement or what the author is saying. I keep holding this up, sorry. And something that they might struggle with is then expressing that when they're reading, because in first grade a lot of students are still learning how to read out loud with accuracy, and then to add comprehension, expression to show comprehension is an additional skill that will take practice. So that may be a struggle. Some of the questions that I might ask the student to really lift that level of learning: what is the author giving us as a clue to understand how we should be reading expressively? Whether it is looking at the grammar of the sentence, or looking at picture clues for some of our friends, or maybe context of the story. The differentiation for plan support, I would read to the whole class and model how to show expressive reading, maybe make errors for the students, and then reread to demonstrate when we make a mistake, we go back and we try again. But also my think alouds, how will I know how to read something? And then for small group, I would like that demonstration of the 2 popsicle sticks and being able to practice different voices and how that changes meaning in sentences. For individual differentiation, I'd really like to work with students in coaching them how to find the grammar in the sentences, or also maybe using a slate board so they can draw faces and try it in different ways depending on where the student's abilities lie. Maybe, in my case, since I work with special ed, using a PEX system where I have little cards with facial expressions that they can use. I also love the idea of having a bookmark with different facial expressions on it so that the students can rely on the faces to then practice reading with different expressions as a strategy. The language function would be to listen to the read aloud and then use expression on successive readings. The vocabulary that I would be using is the word expression, fluency, accuracy, probably emotion. Discourse would be modeling, the paired discussion, and the structured discussions. Syntax would be understanding text clues to read with purpose and expression. And one way that I'll support students so that they can understand and use language associated with the language function would be to pronounce those words, to give examples of expression, and really scaffold that modeling. Theoretically, I think that modeling and think alouds are the best research-based best practice. I would say that there is enough background in how modeling helps support readers, and I therefore would use that as my theoretical principle. In order to engage the students and check in their student readiness, my engagement hook would be probably saying something with a expression that does not match the sentence. So if I said something like, "I'm so sad," they're going to understand that doesn't match. Or, saying you're really happy but in an angry voice, "I'm so happy right now." And then helping the reader see this is why it's important that we match what the reader is saying, or how the reader is saying the sentence, with what the characters are actually feeling or what the author is intending the text to have expressed. The purpose statement would be something along the lines of, readers, this morning we are going to read with expression to show that we understand the text. And the learning activities I kind of went over already, but we would be reading with expression. I would be showing that we understand the text when we read with expression, because that's showing our accuracy in our reading. I would model with a read aloud. I would use the voice cards and the sentence prompts as a form of assessment to check in with the kids, to listen to how they are changing their voice and whether or not they're relying on what the sentence is to then speak in a way that matches what that sentence is. And then I would also say, maybe as a closure, something along the lines of, readers, I saw so many of you practicing the skill of reading with expression. I'm so proud of how you're trying this new skill. And, remember, we can look at sentence endings. We can look at the characters in our books for picture clues. We can also look at the overall story to help us, and we can always try again. If it doesn't sound right, then go back and read it in a different voice and see if that matches better. And then, when you go off and read independently, remember, keep practicing these expressions, and we'll become stronger readers with stronger expression too. So that is pretty much my lesson plan in a nutshell. And I'd like to demonstrate a little bit of that modeling with the actual read aloud here. So I am going to read to you Sleepy the Goodnight Buddy. This is a fabulous book. Roderick hated going to bed. Each night, he would think of every possible excuse to try to stay up longer. Sometimes he would ask for another story. Sometimes he would ask for a drink of water. Sometimes he would ask for a pony. He never got a pony, but that's okay. He didn't really want one. He just wanted to stay up, even if it was just to hear all the reasons why he couldn't have a pony. And there were lots of reasons. Now, I'm noticing that these text bubbles here are going off to people that I can't see, but I know because of the different colors that they're different voices. So when I read them, I'm going to give them different voices. We don't have a barn. Ponies won't use a litter box. Ponies hog the bed. Ponies watch the TV too loud. Ponies never do dishes. Ponies eat toys. Ponies borrow books and never return them. Ponies blah, 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 blah. I matched the voices that I gave to these characters by keeping the pink voice the same as the purple voice. But he would always ask for something, anything, just to stay up a little bit longer. Roderick's parents decided to get him a good night buddy to help him sleep. He couldn't decide whether it looked more like a moose or more like a bear. His name is Sleepy, his mother said. Here's your good night buddy, said his father. He's going to help you fall asleep. That night, Roderick's parents put Sleepy in bed with him, but Sleepy kept staring at him. Roderick decided to hide Sleepy. He tried stashing him on the bookshelf, behind the curtains, and even under his pillow. But no matter where Roderick put him, he could feel Sleepy looking at him. Finally, Roderick picked him up and tossed him into the closet. "Wait," said a quiet little voice from the darkness. See, here the author actually tells me how the little sleepy bear is speaking, so I might say it again. "Wait," said a quiet little voice. "Don't leave me alone in here." I'm noticing an exclamation point, so when I say this sentence, I'm going to say it with a lot of expression. "You're alive?" "Of course I'm alive. I couldn't very well talk if I weren't alive, could I?" "Well, why didn't you talk earlier instead of just staring at me like that?" "I was too scared." "Of what?" "Of you. You were staring at me all freaky looking." "That's because you freak me out. I was only staring at you all freaky looking because you were staring at me all freaky looking." Now, one of the ways that I've learned how to read this with a lot of expression is because I've read this book lots of times. A good reader will read a book over and over again, and that makes their expression even stronger. You're supposed to be my good night buddy. You're supposed to help me sleep, you know? I am? Yes. Oh, okay. Can I please have a drink of water? What? But it's bedtime. I know, but I'm thirsty and then we can go to sleep, I promise. Thanks for the water. You're welcome, Sleepy. I don't think you're that freaky looking anymore. That's nice. I don't think you are either. Now go to sleep. I can't. Why not? I have to pee. From all the water. So go. I'm scared to go alone. Now when I look at Roderick in this picture, I can tell that he's getting very annoyed. So when I start reading his words on the next page, I'm going to make sure that my words and my expression match. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what? I forgot to brush my teeth. He's getting even more annoyed. Can I have a story? That always puts me to sleep. I can't sleep without one. One day in class, Duncan went to take out his crayons and found a stack of letters with his name on them. Can I have one more? Just one, please. I promise that's all I need. Once upon a time, there was a witch with a very big butt. In fact, it was so big that when she... I'll go ahead and stop there. I hope you guys noticed the connection in this story with the book with no pictures inside it because it is the same author. So anyway, that is a little bit of what I would do using this text and with the strategy of building expressive reading to show accuracy in a student's fluency. So I hope you enjoyed. Have a great night. Bye, guys.